Hi. So today we'll be looking at the architecture of the cloud. Basically, we are going to deploy our application of book general prediction on AWS cloud. So before starting all about that, we have to understand some very basic things about the AWS architecture, how it is working and all. Okay. So now let's see that. Okay. So we are having our application hosted on our local machine. Let's say this is a local machine over here, and our requirement is that we want to share our application on the web, right? So this is the web, which is nothing but what? A connection of similar kind of computational devices which have browsers in it. So the request which I'll be sending through my computer will be displayed over their browsers, and the browser will respond, and the response will be in the form of my website. So this is the web. Now how to do this? Basically, I want to share my work with the help of a URL. Okay, with the help of a URL. So with the help of a URL, I want to share my work. What is URL? Unified resource location. With this unified location, I want to share my work with the web, which is nothing but a collection of so many computational devices like computers, laptops, supercomputers and all. So how will this URL get generated? That is the important question, right? So how will the URL get generated is basically when I want contents from my system to go to the web, I use some middleware over here. So this middleware which provides me computational power is cloud. Okay, this middleware which provides me computational power is cloud. Now what is computational power? So basically when two computers need to communicate, that can be possible with help of some addresses and key value pairs. That is it. They can transfer messages, but they cannot do computational task. What is a computational task? Like calculating, let's say, basic mathematical functions, or let's say how your program runs in your local system. That cannot be done while you're transferring the messages from one system to other system within the system itself. So what do I mean to say is, suppose that there is one person over here, he wants to communicate with some other person over here. Okay, so now if person and person wants to communicate, they can communicate either with the phone, right? With the phone, or with a nowadays we are having digital media, like we can use WhatsApp or Instagram or all. That is all fine. But what if this person is a computer? If this is a computer and this computer wants to communicate with this computer by sharing some resource which is performing some computational activity, let's say like machine learning or deep learning or blockchain or some other activity which requires some kind of processor. So that is not possible in case of vanilla network. So we need something which gives us a lot of computation, which gives us a lot of storage, which gives us a lot of maintenance, which gives us a lot of scalability, which gives us a lot of reusability, which gives us a lot of reliability, all the terms. So all those terms are provided by this giant known as cloud. So this cloud which we are using today is AWS, that is Amazon Web Services. So present day AWS is dominating the cloud market by almost 45% or 50%, because it is providing a lot of computational resources. Okay. So now how local system can interact with cloud? What will this cloud after all give me? A cloud after all will give me an DNS IPv4 or IPv4 DNS or IPv6 DNS. So this IPv4 is a public IP address. That means the code which I wrote in this on my local system, I pushed my code onto the cloud, and the machine in the cloud is running my code. The server in the cloud is running, and it is providing an IP request which is nothing but DNS IPv4. So this is what is the URL which I say. So you got to understand that this cloud is a collection, a hybrid collection of many servers which is connected in some kind of fashion. So let's say that there are 3 servers over here for me. Let's say the requests on this server are loaded because of too many users who are using my website. So this server, what it will do is it will share some of the requests to this server, and some of the requests will be shared to this server, and in this way the loop continues of sharing. So this is known as resource pooling in cloud. Okay, so only one URL, but so many users are using that URL, so the servers are getting splitted into so many kind of stuffs, and then that is becoming like a pool of resource. So this is nothing but resource sharing or resource pooling also we can say. So that is what is happening inside cloud. That means that is one part of that thing which is happening inside it. So to say in a very simple terms, we want to host our application on the cloud, and the cloud in return will give us an DNS IPv4 address which we can share it with the entire world, and the entire world can access this. And the beauty of this is how many ever users are using my website, the services are not delayed. That means services are provided instantaneously. How it is possible? It is possible because of the internal resource pooling architecture which I showed over here. The server, there are 3 servers. One server, you get a request on one server, request gets completely filled, the request gets shared to another server. This server has also filled all the requests. This server sends to another server, and this continues in a loop. So this is all about the resource pooling thing. Okay, so all this resource pooling, management, scalability, reliability is a key characteristic of any cloud architecture. In the market today, Amazon Web Services provide these on a very advanced level. So the service or the response time for the user is very quick, right? So now we understood the after part from cloud to web, but what about this? This is the core part which we have to construct. So let us look into the details of this part first. This part is clear because after cloud, once we host our application on cloud, the cloud will give us an IPv4 DNS that we can share it with the web. That's it, that's done, that's simple as that. But the most important part is how from a local machine I am creating an instance in this cloud, and this cloud is performing all computational tasks, right? So what is the scene behind? So this is my local machine, and in a cloud, this is the cloud. For example, this is the cloud. So in a cloud there are many machines, multiple machines who are waiting for my request. So basically, if I want my machine to communicate with any of these machines, I need some kind of authentication to be done, right? I want some kind of authentication to be done. Now how the authentication will be done is basically in form of key value pair. Okay, so there is an SHA algorithm which is running behind the scenes which will give me an SHA key value pair, SHA key value pair. This is an encryption algorithm which confirms that hey, the local machine which is giving you the request is verified by our IPv4 DNS servers. Okay, just understand this. The SHA key request, which the request from which you are getting on this local machine, is being verified, in short. So this key value pair, in future video you will see it will be a .pem file. Okay, this will be a .pem file. With this key, what you can do is you will get mapped to any of these computers from here. Let's say that you got mapped to this computer, and this computer is C2. So now let's see how the communication of you and C2 is being done. And this is a computer C2. Now this computer it doesn't have any kind of things. It just has processor, that is it has a very good processor, it has very good memory, right? It doesn't have any kind of operating system installed in this. It doesn't have any kind of virtual environments. It doesn't have any kind of programming language softwares installed in it. You have to manually do that. So how to do it manually? So first what we can do is, we'll get an option of selecting operating system. From Amazon Web Services only we'll get the option. So let's say that we install the Linux operating system here. Perfect. So Linux operating system has been installed in this system. Now what about the other parts, other softwares like Python 3 and all our requirements? How to do that? So in order to communicate with this Linux server, now this computer becomes a server because this will handle our requests, right? So how we can communicate, how we can send the files from this to this? We know that we will be using key value pair to authenticate it. Once that is done, there is one software known as WinSap. There is one software known as WinSap, which will help us to communicate or transfer files from our system to the system of Linux. And this Linux system is the system which is present in this cloud. Once everything is done, this Linux system will generate an IPv4 DNS, which is nothing but our requirement. So this will make more sense when I will show you the live demo of deploying our application on AWS EC2 instance. Okay, so till then, do learn more about cloud infrastructures and how SHA and how the WinSha and WinSap, the PEM files are working behind the scenes. In the next video, I'll show you how to deploy the application on EC2 instance. Okay.